In today's video, we will explore some of the most notorious technology failures in recent history and how they have changed the tech industry. We will analyze the causes and consequences of these failures to understand what went wrong and how we can avoid making the same mistakes in the future. By learning from the past, we can build a better future for technology and its users. So let's take a deep dive into the world of tech failures and turn these missteps into valuable learning experiences. OnePlus Watch. The OnePlus Watch has several issues, including shorter battery life than what was claimed by the company, syncing issues with smartphones, and limited app support due to its operating system. Fitness tracking features are also reported to be inaccurate. The watch has limited customization options, including the inability to install third-party watch faces and limited interface customization options. Snapchat Spectacles. Spectacles failed due to several reasons. The initial launch was limited to special vending machines, which backfired as it failed to build hype. Snapchat also did not utilize social media influencers to promote the device. The usability of the spectacles was also poor, which included design flaws and technical issues. These mistakes were unforgivable and contributed to the failure of spectacles. iSmell. The iSmell device was an electronic device that could emit scents stored on a cartridge when triggered by specific events on a computer. Despite being capable of producing over 100 different scents, it was not successful in the market due to a lack of effective marketing and a high price point, limiting its appeal to a broader audience. The company shut down due to a lack of funding, but the technology is still licensed and there have been efforts to relaunch the iSmell device. Microsoft Bob. Bob was a user interface released by Microsoft in 1995 to provide a non-technical option for new computer users. However, the interface was criticized for being condescending, childish, and ineffective, with limited functionality and control. Its failure was a setback for Microsoft, which invested significant time and resources into its development, teaching the company the importance of understanding the user's needs and preferences. Mystery microwave weapon. Several US diplomats and spies in Cuba and China have experienced strange neurological symptoms, such as loss of balance and pressure in the face. Since 2016, the most plausible cause, according to National Academies of Sciences, is a microwave weapon. The US was slow to recognize and investigate the pattern of injuries, and no one can say for sure if directed beams of pulsated radio energy are to blame for the Havana syndrome. The use of such over-the-air technology raises concerns about malevolent actors and new tools for causing harm to others, and some weapons just shouldn't be used. Lightning L16. The Light L16 camera was a promising innovation in the world of photography, boasting a unique design that featured 16 separate camera modules arranged in a grid pattern. Each module had a different focal length, allowing the camera to capture multiple images at once and combine them into a high-quality, high-resolution final image. However, despite the company's claim of excellent low-light performance and the SLR-like image quality, the camera failed to become a reliable tool for photojournalism, a key market that Light had hoped to tap into. One of the major flaws of the Light L16 camera was its slow and inconsistent performance. Many users reported that the camera was slow to focus and capture images, often missing critical moments. In addition, the camera's processing speed was slow, which made it difficult for photographers to quickly review and edit their shots. This made the camera unsuitable for fast-paced photojournalism, where timing is everything. AMD Bulldozer. AMD missed an opportunity to build on its success by sticking with older architectures, while Intel pursued faster designs on smaller process nodes. AMD lacked funds to invest in newer process nodes, resulting in CPUs that ran hotter and had limited design complexity. AMD introduced the Bulldozer family of CPU cores, featuring high core counts with shared logic due to cost and design constraints. However, these cores lacked the complexity of conventional CPU cores, leading to a negative impact on single-threaded performance. AMD fell behind Intel in performance and resorted to increasing clock rates on inferior process nodes, resulting in overheating and expensive cooling solutions. Despite their efforts, AMD failed to catch up to Intel, and the performance gap remained stagnant or even shrank in some cases. PlayStation Vita. The PlayStation Vita's failure to gain traction can be attributed to three key factors. The primary factor is the rise of mobile gaming and the subsequent decline of traditional handheld gaming. The second factor is the device's focus on delivering a high-cost, high-spec portable rather than a more affordable option. Finally, Sony's marketing and support of the device also contributed to its downfall. All three factors played a role in the device's failure, with the first factor being the most significant and responsible for the overall decline of the handheld market, resulting in disappointing sales for both Sony and Nintendo's handheld devices. 3D TV. The requirement for glasses to view 3D TVs was a significant drawback of the technology. These glasses were uncomfortable and expensive, and caused technical and practical issues. When manufacturers eventually moved towards passive lens glasses, many customers had already lost interest in the technology. Additionally, the small size of 3D TVs was unable to effectively recreate the 3D illusion, leaving viewers underwhelmed. Xbox Kinect. The Xbox Kinect failed due to poor marketing, confusion among consumers, and a lack of compelling games that fully utilized the technology. The Kinect was marketed as an add-on to the Xbox 360 and later bundled with the console itself. But its high price point made it less appealing to gamers. The lack of games that fully utilized the technology and a reliance on tacked-on motion controls also contributed to its failure. The failure of the Kinect can be attributed to a combination of marketing, pricing, and software issues. Xbox One launch. The Xbox One had a higher launch price due to the inclusion of the Kinect sensor, which was seen as unnecessary by consumers. The console was marketed as an all-in-one entertainment system, which detracted from its core purpose as a gaming device. While the PlayStation 4 was marketed as a gaming console, the Xbox One's restrictive DRM policies requiring an internet connection to play games and limiting used game trading caused a backlash among games and led to a quick policy reversal by Microsoft. GoPro Karma. GoPro's Karma drone was recalled in 2018 due to some owners complaining about it losing power mid-flight. However, even after being discontinued, GoPro pledged to continue to support existing machines with necessary software updates. A recent technical glitch related to GPS has prevented the drone from taking off, but GoPro has identified the issue and will release a firmware update within the week to fix it. The problem is linked to the recent GPS clock rollover phenomenon, which can cause the software to stop working if it is not programmed to anticipate the rollover to 0 weeks. OnLive. OnLive failed to bring a strong user base due to its ambitious attempt to support multiple platforms, lack of AAA blockbusters, and absence of support from major third-party publishers. Additionally, OnLive's marketing strategy failed to appeal to gamers' rebellious nature, and the company struggled to provide a unique selling point to consumers. The streaming service also faced issues with lag and low-resolution visuals, causing the company to struggle to appeal to early adopters. Internet Explorer. In the early 2000s, Internet Explorer, IE, dominated the web browser market with approximately 95% of the market share, which led Microsoft to become complacent and reluctant to invest more resources in improving IE. Consequently, IE suffered from numerous security vulnerabilities, which Microsoft was slow to patch, damaging its reputation. Furthermore, Internet Explorer was slow and impossible to uninstall, which gave rise to the release of Mozilla Firefox, an open-source browser that allowed anyone to view, modify, or reproduce the code for free. Due to its open standards, Firefox quickly gained popularity. Despite this, Microsoft made minimal efforts to improve IE. Marvel Avenger video game. Various factors contributed to the failure of the Marvel Avengers game. Firstly, it was launched in a packed September period and faced stiff competition from other notable releases, like Halo Infinite and Cyberpunk 2077. Secondly, it received poor reviews from critics, who highlighted its shortcomings. Thirdly, the game was plagued with technical glitches, which hindered its overall performance and the user experience. Blockbuster. Despite Blockbuster's attempts at innovating, including offering its own video-on-demand service and considering acquiring Netflix, it failed to restructure its operating model to compete with Netflix. Blockbuster's decline was due to its failure to innovate quickly and adapt to the changing times, and advancements made in technology. The current oversaturation of streaming services presents an opportunity for Blockbuster to play to nostalgia and offer a boutique experience, focus on streaming services on a smaller scale. Microsoft Vista. The Windows XP operating system was a huge success and is the most widely installed operating system of all time, with over 70% of PCs still running it in 2008. Windows Vista, released in 2007, was plagued with software bloat, making it slow and incompatible with existing software and hardware. This made it difficult for many IT departments to adopt it. Microsoft's plan to move towards subscription-based software failed with Windows XP and Office XP. Virtual Boy. The Virtual Boy console had an integrated stand that restricted player movement and caused discomfort due to poor adjustability. It lacked head tracking capabilities and could only create a sense of depth through a parallax effect. The console's graphics were limited to displaying only 2 colors, red and black, causing eye strain and headaches. It was cautioned against use by children under 7 years old. The poor selection of games with only 22 officially released titles, 8 of which were exclusive to Japan, contributed to its failure. Project Loon. Loon was a company that aimed to provide internet access to remote or underserved areas using high-altitude balloons. However, despite having several partners and investors, the company was not able to turn its great idea into a sustainable and profitable business model. In January 2021, the company was shut down, with its director, Astro Teller, stating that the road to commercial viability was longer and riskier than anticipated. Unfortunately, Loon's business model was not commercially viable, and the company was unable to sustain itself. Facebook scandal. Facebook has failed to protect user information in several instances, with one of the most significant being the Cambridge Analytica scandal in 2018. The company allowed third-party developers to access user data without proper oversight or restrictions, and failed to enforce its data policies. Additionally, Facebook has faced criticism for its handling of other data breaches and its failure to proactively prevent such incidents. These failures can be attributed to a lack of transparency, oversight, and enforcement of data policies, as well as inadequate monitoring of third-party developers. Fire Festival. Fire Festival was initially intended to be a sexy and alluring event, but the lack of a thorough and effective process ultimately led to its downfall. By marketing the event with high-profile endorsements and a glamorous promotional video, they fed the hype beast, which ultimately grew out of control. The lack of accountability among the festival's leaders made it difficult to determine who was responsible for the fiasco, and no one wanted to take responsibility. If someone had been accountable during the event, they could have stopped it before it became such a disaster. The NHS Test and Trace Program. The NHS Test and Trace Program was launched in May 2020 in the UK to control the spread of COVID-19, but it faced significant challenges and ultimately failed to deliver. The reasons for this failure include a late start, lack of preparation, poor coordination, problems with the app, low public compliance, and high costs. These challenges led to a slow start, technical issues, low compliance rates, and limited success in controlling the virus. It's clear that technology has come a long way in the past few decades, but it's not always smooth sailing. From faulty software to misguided marketing campaigns, these tech fails serve as a reminder that even the biggest companies can make mistakes. Let's hope that these failures serve as lessons learned, and that companies continue to work toward creating better, more secure technology for all of us to enjoy. Alright, that wraps up our video for today. Please do well to give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button for more. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.